Well, our case came up for trial in October of 1968. Each one of the events surrounding the trial seemed to turn me on, and we have a whole new series called Trial Poems. These were later brought out with a series of sketches done by Tom Lewis in jail. Since the jail would allow no artist's materials, Tom devised his own out of ashes and coffee and cocoa and a few sharpened popsicle sticks wrapped around with rags. And out of them came a kind of surreal glance at that most unreal entity, American society. Anyway, the first poem is simply called Wings, and it has to do with the air trip from Ithaca to Baltimore for trial. Wings. In Baltimore, as we came in for trial, a butterfly came to rest on our big bowing wing, pulsing there, a hand in ballet motion, a heartbeat. I wished the little tacker luck. He was technologically innocent, flying by grace of the U.S. Air Control Command, because his wingspread, I checked this, lay somewhere below the danger area of the breadth of minor aircraft. We got to know several marshals in those days while we were being locked up and shunted about between court and jail. Some of them were deeply human, and some of them were deeply damaged and violent. And out of that strange combine came another verse called The Marshal. The marshal is taking my measure, snip, 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 crossways back and front. He X's me, society's darling, for dun shirt and pants. He grins past my shoulder, a clown head at odds with his fate. His ribbled revolver eye, steel sights, barrel nose, is taking my measure. I will wear khaki, he grins, and love it for years and years, and play night and day cops and robbers. In dreams for years will scramble the wall like a spider, fall piecemeal into my savior's throttling arms. While we were in jail before trial, I came upon a very strange article in a lost, kind of pulp magazine in the cell block, and it had to do with a priest in early history of this country who had died somewhere below Manhattan Island for sheltering runaway slaves. A man whose only pseudonym is John Urey. Nobody seems to know his real name, or indeed much about him. But it seemed extraordinary that while we priests were in trouble in a new time, we had come upon the story of this priest. So at our sentencing sometime later, I read this particular poem, which is simply called John Urey. In our big cruel cell block, designed like a city hospital for the spreading of disease, I came on an old pulp sheet. In a corner of its rubbishy mind, the news shone, a priest who made history. John Urey in the Manhattan sty, Dickens slogged 100 years after, preserved to this day, slums being our manifest destiny. Dens where dogs would howl to lie, ruined houses open to the street, hideous tenements, their names drawn from robbery and murder, whatever is loathsome, dropping, decayed. The priest, in and out of an alehouse, ministered to slaves by night, sought like a slave by the carnivore founding fathers whose dentures gleam in the old portraits like sharks in grand banks of privilege. The night before our trial opens its jaws, an old shark yawn, gold-capped with privilege, boredom, bankruptcy. I think of John Urey. Down the bleak corridor, Philip's typewriter, the stick of a blind prophet, argues the deities blind. Tom Lewis ponders tomorrow, from swine tending at Lewisburg prison to Baltimore court, one scene and the same. The parables of Jesus keep sane his gentle spirit. Wherefore, John Uri, make common cause with us, indicted felons, for pouring of blood and fire on murderous licenses. Lead into court the great society's everyday catch, the dying children, burned, blinded, in Washington Rose Gardens. Give evidence upon that power wasted like seed or life's blood on whoring and butchery. John Uri, tell our Father, face to face in beatific vision, we, hallowed, hold his name.